You may be seated. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Cobb State Court. My name is Carl Bowers. I am the Chief Judge of this court. On behalf of my colleagues, many of whom you will see over here to my left, we're happy that you're here today. We're here today for a very momentous and important occasion, the swearing in of Makia Metzger as the next Solicitor General in the Cobb Judicial Circuit. I had the occasion to meet for the first time Ms. Metzger several weeks back. She very much impresses me as a person of integrity, as a leader, and as someone dedicated to the citizens and to the community here in Cobb County. As the Chief Judge in this court, we're very honored for you to be with us. Ms. Metzger, we look forward to you taking your oath here today. We welcome you on behalf of all employees in the state court to the Cobb Solicitor General's office and to the state court. Program today will include some participation by Ms. Metzger's family members and some other elected officials. We'll make note of those folks as we get to that particular point in time. Again, I want to welcome everyone here. It's a great day here in state court. We can bring in a new Solicitor General. So thank you all for being here. At this time, I'm going to call up to the podium Mr. Eli Cottingham, who is the son of Ms. Metzger and her husband, and Eli is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning, Eli. How are you today?
Good.
Good to see you. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to introduce to you and bring to the podium Judge Patsy Porter of the State Court of Fulton County. Judge Porter, good morning.
Good morning. It is my absolute pleasure to be here in the great county of Cobb County. And if Lieutenant Vaughn is here, thank you for leading me here because I got a little turned around. I don't leave Fulton County often, but I would like to say good morning to this very distinguished group, the judges of the State Court of Cobb County, to my colleagues and my friends, Lieutenant Stacy Collins, who, as I rode over here with this morning, it was like a mini family reunion. So Solicitor General-elect Metzger, thank you for bringing this distinguished group together, to your family, to everyone who is here. It's a great day in Cobb County. I am honored to have been asked to give remarks about a young, intelligent, hardworking woman that was assigned to my courtroom in December of 2015. And what an incredible ride we had. What I can tell the citizens of Cobb County is that you will receive from Solicitor General-elect Metzger someone who brings her A game to the courtroom every time she walks into the courtroom. She was always well prepared for her cases. She knew the law, and if she thought I was going to rule another way, she would say, "Do you need these 3 cases, Judge?" She was not afraid to try a case. And in fact, around the courthouse, there were those who had said that after a couple of negotiations with lawyers, you would hear her utter these famous words: "Let's just go to trial." Because in her words, she could try the case quicker than she could go back and forth with you and let the jury decide. In the largest and busiest circuit of this state, we had cases lined up along the wall. And she said we were in court this morning 365 days a year. And I said that's because she was a tough-nosed prosecutor. She didn't back down. She didn't blink. She suited up and did her job. And so it was her fault, the reason that we were in court 365, because if she had been giving away cases like some of the other courtrooms, I could have been sitting back in the back working on something else. But it was an incredible ride, and I enjoyed every moment of working with her. It was not unusual for Solicitor Metzger to be trying a case. We would finish that case, and when I uttered the famous words, "What's next?" she would suit up for the next case, and on rare occasions, jurors would be in the courtroom, in the jury room deliberating, and she would be striking another jury. Never whining, never belly aching, always ready to do the work that is before her. And I know you all were saying, well, of course the judge is going to say nice things about her, because most people, for the most part, Ms. Metzger, Ms. Melnick, every now and then, people aren't nice to judges either, but you know, they'll give us as much fever as we give them. But so just so you think that I'm not here sugarcoating and telling you what it was like to work with her, I called my coworker this morning, Mary Allison, who had been with me from the days when I was an ADA, and I just texted her. She's a retiree, and I thought about calling her, then it's like, no, Mary may be asleep. She wasn't. I said, tell me, I'm going to speak at Mackie swearing in. She said, Solicitor Master, she said, tell her congratulations. And in about 30 seconds, this is what she sent. She said, no problem. Hold on, let me pull what her exact words were. Her comments to me was, good morning. Retirement is rubbing off. I just got up. Congratulations to Mackie. I enjoyed working with her because she worked tirelessly to resolve her cases in a timely manner. She spoke with respect to attorneys and the public and offered fair resolutions to their cases. When trying a case, she had the determination to achieve justice but still maintain her professionalism. And that's what Mary Allison said. My current litigation manager, Ms. Jessica McTour, I know you all may not know this, but when you're sitting in the courtroom, I asked a couple of deputies, they see you when I'm not in the courtroom. So when I walk out, of course everybody's usually on good behavior. But what Ms. McTour said was this. She said, Judge, she said she's feisty, she done backed down, but the last words that she said to me, and it stuck with me all yesterday and today, she said she's tough, but she's fair. And that's all you can ask in a solicitor and a lawyer. You may not like me, and I tell people, some of y'all, we don't like each other. Just not gonna happen, but if you respect the process, lawyers and litigants, they want a fair and level playing field. When you're tough and you're fair, citizens of Cobb County, you're getting one of our best. Solicitor Metzger, I wish you the best. Congratulations. And I know for you and the citizens of this county, the best is yet to come. Thank you.
Our next speaker this morning will be Deborah Melnick, who is a longtime colleague and friend of Ms. Metzger. Ms. Melnick.
Thank you, Cobb County, and it's so nice to see several people from Fulton. And I promise you, after being on the receiving end of Judge Porter's praise and wrath on occasion, she does not mince words. I am so honored and excited to be here to introduce Makia Metzger in this historic time. I have known her personally for more years than I would like to acknowledge. She is generous, she is sweet, she's funny, she's compassionate, she has held my hand and lifted me up through some very difficult times in my life. She's honest, and her word is as good as gold. Professionally, she is a fierce trial attorney. She has gone up against some of the best defense attorneys in the state of Georgia, and she has outmaneuvered them, outskilled, and outlitigated them. She's fair. She uses a lot of discernment when she prosecutes. Defendants will be held responsible when necessary, but they will also be treated fairly and equally. She will fight for domestic violence victims even when they've been beaten down and broken and they don't feel any worth and they can't fight for themselves. Her work ethic is unparalleled. Never once would she go play hooky with me to go shopping or something fun, especially when work had to be done. She worked long hours and weekends. so that she was the most prepared prosecutor in Fulton County. She did whatever it took to get the job done. I'm so excited and honored again to be here in Cobb to introduce Makia Metzger, the next Solicitor General of Cobb County.
Thank you, Ms. Melnick. Before I administer the oath to Mackie, I would be remiss if I didn't make a couple of observations here. This is truly a historic day in Cobb County. Upon taking the oath, Ms. Metzger will be the first female Solicitor General in the Cobb Judicial Circuit, and she'll be the first African American to serve in that capacity as Solicitor General. So I just ask you to pause to reflect upon the historic nature of this event here today. And as I said before, we're honored that you're here today to administer the oath. In this courtroom where we seek justice, and somewhat there's somewhere on my bench up there a symbolism of Lady Justice, and of course we all know what Lady Justice symbolizes. She wears a blindfold because the concept there is that justice is blind, and it doesn't entertain the rich, the poor, the weak, or the strong. It entertains all of us equally as children of God. So hopefully in this courtroom at all times justice will occur. And I look through this courtroom and see so many people of different hues and different origins, different backgrounds, and it's fantastic that in this county, which is evolving all the time, that justice can occur in this courtroom here today with Ms. Metzger's taking the oath as the next Solicitor General in Cobb County. So at this time, I would ask you to join me up here at the podium, Ms. Metzger and your family. There's two separate oaths that I'll give to you. I'll ask you to raise your right hand. And I'll first give to you the oath as of office of Solicitor General, State Court of Cobb County. And please state your name.
I, Makia Metzger,
Do swear or affirm
do swear or affirm
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
and without fear,
and without fear,
favor, or affection
favor, or affection
discharge my duties as Solicitor General
as Solicitor General
of the State Court of Cobb County,
of the State Court of Cobb County,
and will take only my lawful compensation.
and will take only my lawful compensation.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I'm not the holder
that I am not the holder
of any unaccounted for
of any unaccounted for
public money
due this state
or any political subdivision
or any political subdivision
or authority thereof, that I'm not the holder of any office
that I am not the holder of any office
of trust
of trust
under the government of the United States,
under the government of the United States
any other state,
or any other state
or any foreign state,
or any foreign state
which I am prohibited from holding
which I am prohibited from holding
by the laws of the state of Georgia,
by the laws of the state of Georgia,
and that I am otherwise qualified
and that I am otherwise qualified
to hold said office
to hold said office
according to the Constitution of the United States
according to the Constitution of the United States
and laws of Georgia,
and laws of Georgia,
and that I will support the constitutions
and that I will support the
of
constitutions
the United States
of the United
and of
States
this state,
and of this state,
and that I've been a resident
and that I have been a
of
resident
this geographic area
of this geographic area
for the time required by the Constitution
for the time required by the
and
Constitution
laws of this state.
and the laws of this state.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And the loyalty oath.
Okay.
I, and once again state your name,
I, Makia Metzger,
a citizen of Cobb County, Georgia,
a citizen of Cobb County, Georgia,
and being an employee of the Cobb County Solicitor General's office,
and being an employee of the Cobb County Solicitor General's office,
and the recipient of public funds for services
and a recipient of public funds for services
rendered as such employee,
rendered as such employee,
do hereby solemnly swear
do hereby solemnly swear
and affirm
and
that I
affirm
will support the Constitution
that I will support the
of the
Constitution
United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of Georgia.
and the Constitution of Georgia.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Before Mackie makes some remarks to all of us here today, I'm going to ask Christopher Cottingham, who is Mackie's brother-in-law, to honor us with a rendition of Amazing Grace.
So I noticed that we are ahead of schedule, and Mackie did ask me if I wanted to speak or to sing. And I am a minister, but I'm not going to talk for very long. But I do want to say, on behalf of her family, how proud we are of Mackie, among other things, because she saw the opportunity to make a difference and to be a person who tries to make more justice and more good in the world, and rather than be one of those who stands by and complains about things, to be one of those who stands up and makes a difference. And that has been the person that we have known, the person that I've known for close to 30 years, which is disturbing in a lot of ways, but she has always been a person of great integrity, of great ethics, of tremendous work ethic, as you've heard, as well as a great person, a great mom, a person of deep faith. Mackie and I are two of the family members who at family gatherings ignore the common wisdom that you shouldn't talk about politics or religion or anything deep. And we have often done that, usually in agreement, occasionally not. But I guess at the end of the day, what I want to say to Cobb County is you made a good choice. You made the right choice. And I want to say to Mackie that we're proud of you and praying for you as you go into this new task. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Twas grace hath brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. And when we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun.
Mr. Cunningham. Well, at this time, I'm going to introduce to you for the first time to make some public remarks as the official Solicitor General of the Cobb Judicial Circuit and Cobb State Court, Ms. Makia Metzger.
Good morning.
Morning.
First of all, I want to thank all of you for being here today. It means a lot to me. I want to thank the voters who I'm so humbled that you gave me this job. I want to thank those who didn't vote for me and those who voted for me. This position, I'm humbled. I'm humbled. I'm not special in any way. I'm just a normal, ordinary woman who had an idea in her head that she wanted to do something better. I look at this as a coming home for me. Coming home, working where I love and where I live. I have worked in Fulton County pretty much all my life. I was raised in Fulton County. I was given the skills I have, the mentoring that I have. Thank you, Judge Porter. In fact, Judge Porter doesn't tell you the full story. I petitioned for Judge Porter's courtroom because she was the hardest courtroom to work in. Most prosecutors did not want to work in that courtroom. And I begged and pleaded, and they said, Mackie, we don't think you want to go there. People last there sometimes for a week. And I said, please, please, I want the challenge. I don't know, I wasn't maybe very bright back then, but I was given the challenge because, quite honestly, I don't think anybody wanted to go to your courtroom.
And I didn't want to.
So she inherited me, and she trained me up. She taught me things that you would think a person would know just as a human, but prosecutors tend to forget. She taught me that you could be fierce but kind, that you could do your job honestly and work hard, but you could also bring empathy to a case. She taught me that the person in front of you wasn't just a case number, wasn't just a name, but a complete human being with experiences and a life lived. And they were here because of circumstances probably beyond their control, that every human being in a courtroom deserved dignity and respect. And she taught me that that interaction that you had with that person mattered. And that is correct. They do matter. Ever since and that doesn't mean we didn't hold people accountable, but we also did it with compassion and empathy, and with a goal that we would somehow change things in that individual's life. And that's what we call reducing recidivism. Thank you. I want to thank Deborah Melnick because early on in my career, I think I was kind of floating around thinking, what am I going to do? Because I was scared of public speaking. I was scared of confrontation. And sometimes I'm still scared. I'm human. Sometimes, just even thinking about today, I think the first thing that Chief Judge Bowers told me is that you look concerned, not relaxed. I'm like, I am nervous. And Deborah Melnick told me, she said, you have an ability to talk to people and bring people together. You have good negotiation skills. And I said, really? And she said, yeah, try this. And put in a good word for me with the then current Solicitor General, and I was hired. I don't know if Ms. Carmen Smith knew what she was getting herself into. But then it was quite a ride. Here's what I have to say about leadership. Being at the helm, being at the top, it doesn't really mean anything if you don't have a good team. I think Jesse Evans taught me that not too long ago, and he's standing back there. Good morning, sir. You need good teams. You need good collaborative teams. And going into the state court as a county solicitor, that's what I hope to do. I need to have good people around me, maybe even smarter people, to help me do a good job for Cobb County. I'm not going to leave my family behind because I see them seated right there. I want to thank my mother. My mother is the epitome of kindness and grace. Good morning. Thanks for being here. And there is never a person who is struggling that she won't help. In fact, she concerns me sometimes because she'll call me and tell me I give a ride to a homeless person to go help them get services. So her heart is kind and gentle and generous, and I hope that I have those values from her. I want to thank my husband who, most mornings when I was running for office, I don't think I was a very good wife, but he picked up the slack with our kids, with meals, and he would wake up at 5 in the morning to go, my signs would go missing, and he would go put my signs back up at 5 a.m. Thank you. And my sons for being patient with me this past year as I was an absent mom. I want to thank them for never complaining and for maintaining their grades and always doing well at school and maintaining their composure, even when not so nice things were being said about me. I want to thank all the people in this room who powered me to success. I would not be here if I didn't have the support, the help, the advice, the counsel of so many people who wanted to see this happen today. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Bev. I'm seeing so many faces. Thomas, Ajay. Thank you, Terry. And I want to turn around and also acknowledge our representatives. If you can stand, David Wilkerson, Flynn Brody, Terry. I see some. Jason Estevez, you might want to wave. Solomon Adesanya. I don't know if Doc Red is here. There, he's in the back. There are so many representatives in this room. Terry Anulowitz. Sorry, I can't see from back here. There are so many representatives serving Cobb County who are here to support me today, and I want to thank you, Craig Owens. Thank you very much, sir, for everything that you do for our county and keeping us safe in the courtroom today. So I want to thank everyone, and I am standing on the shoulders of those who have come before me. This would not have been possible if it wasn't for someone like Martin Luther King fighting for the right for equality, suffragist movements fighting for women to have a seat at the table. I'm not here on my own accord. I am here because of the leaders who have fought hard and bled and died and suffered to make this happen. So with that in mind, I want to thank my ancestors. I am fourth generation freed woman. I was talking to my older brother who lives in London yesterday, and he said, our ancestors were obviously enslaved, and you're a fourth generation freed woman. So I am standing on the shoulders of those who have come before me.